hey there. So the Twitter bans and purges, they have multiplied exponentially since Jack Dorsey stepped down. But what's even crazier is that Twitter, they have changed their terms of service and their algorithm to hide shadow banning and so much more. Now that, it should worry people too, because you know what? There's no oversight. Places like shadowban.eu that could actually track that, they can't track that anymore. This, it was done intentionally too, while hundreds and thousands of accounts, they're being purged right now. I mean, this stuff, it is absolutely insane. These purges, they're not limited to customers either. Oh no, 900 employees were just fired by the CEO via Zoom call. Can you imagine that, by the way? Tune in to a Zoom call, almost 1,000 people get fired. Yeah, just another day at the brand new office. Now, the person behind all of this, the brand new CEO of Twitter, he should worry everyone out there. Why? Because he thinks we should focus less on thinking about free speech, but thinking about how the times have changed. Now, the bans, the purges, the hiding of bans, that should worry people too. And if you think you're immune to this, by the way, oh well, you're not. You want due process? You think there are things wrong societally? Well, companies like this, they don't benefit from you thinking that. We're going to talk about all of that today. Fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. Oh, man. So, hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. And as far as oversight for shadow banning is concerned, and when I say shadow banning, that is banning you from the platform, by the way. No one can find you, so you may still be there, but you weren't really there. Well, there used to be ways to track that. If you look at this here, this is what shadowban.eu used to tell you. They would tell you that you could find your account or it existed. They would tell you if somebody searched for something, you would actually pop up in it. So you would have search bans if you actually said something as well. Ghosting you, that basically meant you disappeared. And reply deboosting. I got hit with this all the time too, talking about due process, talking about problems with industry. Twitter, they would step up and they would call that harmful. Now that was Twitter under the last CEO, Jack Dorsey, by the way, who definitely was not a free speech advocate, but still, he would allow a lot of things to go on that the new guy apparently doesn't want. See, Jack Dorsey, he stepped down on November 29th. Now almost immediately, you have thousands of people purged off the site. Myself, I lost over 100 and something followers. That means 100 accounts were purged just right there. And I saw people talking about thousands gone. I mean, that's absolutely insane. What's even crazier, though, is what shadowban.eu posted, because there are changes. And not only are there changes, but they bring up good points here. So let me read this to you quickly. Goodbye. The test results are not reliable anymore. Twitter has changed their front end to use new GraphQL endpoints to properly test and reflect the behavior of the site. I would have to make those changes to the test too. I have no interest in Twitter anymore and have moved on to other projects well over a year ago. Thus, shadowban.eu is down for good. The latest version of their code remains available on GitHub. Now, after that, they thank people saying, the ones that donated to us, you kept us running for the past 4 years. So these types of changes, they haven't impacted the site for at least 4 years, but you're probably talking about more. You are the ones that kept the servers running. Even though I never answered, I've read all of your messages. They kept me going for quite some time. But let's face it, Twitter probably doesn't want you on their platform, so why stay? The newest update to the Twitter media policy proves once again that you are in a very unhealthy relationship with the service. Year over year, they come up with new methods to shadow ban or otherwise quote-unquote hurt you. And that is very true, by the way. Every freaking year, they attack their users. It really feels like battered wife syndrome if you think about it. You look and hope for solutions to your problems, only for them to swing an even bigger bat at you. You are and deserve better than that. And that's true, by the way. I stay on the platform because it's fun to make people angry. You can reach people there as well. But yeah, it's not a healthy platform. It's not healthy because of the rules. It's not healthy because of the leadership. And it's not healthy because of the people favored on the site. Moreover, when you start reading about the expanded rules, and by the way, good luck with getting them to actually enforce any of this stuff if you have that wrong think opinion. I had people put up my banking information, my social security number, where I live and more. Yeah, they didn't care about that. That didn't matter at all. But hey, you know now, listen to what they have to say. There's a growing concern about the misuse of media and information that is not available elsewhere online as a tool to harass, intimidate, and reveal the identities of individuals. That's their kicker right there, by the way. That is not available elsewhere online. So, if somebody wants to circumvent that, they just put it on another site, then they port it in. And well, Twitter, they arbitrarily decide who to enforce that against and not. Sharing personal media, such as images or videos. What images, by the way? They don't say, can potentially violate a person's privacy and may lead to emotional or physical harm. The misuse of private media can affect everyone, but, I always love the but to that, by the way, can have a disproportionate effect on women, activists, dissidents, and members of minority communities. Now, when you see these two words here, by the way, what exactly is an activist? What exactly is a dissident? Well, they don't tell you, but you know how Twitter sees that. So yeah, you know how the banning's going to work. When we receive a report that a tweet contains unauthorized private media, we will now take action in line with our range of enforcement options. Now, aside from protecting some of the most horrendous groups and organizations the world over, we're talking about the Taliban, for example. They're protected under Twitter terms of service. You also have the status quo that is protected and reinforced. So you know that word that we throw around, independent, attached to journalism? You know, just people going out and talking about it, citizen journalists as they were. Well, this stuff, it's going to shut them down. Why? Because the person behind Twitter, he doesn't like free speech. He likes to decide who exactly gets heard, and he made that known in 2018. He noted, quote, that Twitter, it should focus less on thinking about free speech, but thinking about how times have changed. When our role is particularly emphasized is who can be heard, and so increasingly our role is moving toward how we recommend content, how we direct people's attention. So when you talk about, so the guy in charge of a site tells you he wants to be the arbiter of truth. He wants to decide who should or shouldn't be heard. Then he hides results like this, telling you whether or not anyone they can see you at all. Hundreds, thousands of people, they've been removed under this already. Even workers are being removed because, hey, why not purge them too? Yeah, that tells you they're going to become more and more extreme. And you know, again, like I was saying, the people that this aims at, if you think that you're immune to it, you listening to something like this, it says you're not. But anyway, let me know what you think about this. As always, appreciate the heck out of you too. Want to help out the channel? There are links in the description. Could always use your help, but you being here, that's appreciated. Thank you. Gonna end here. Thank you. See you soon.